Today we are continuing with Global Health Series number 29. My name is Professor Silvanus Okeke. Social determinants of health. We are comparing two countries today, Hong Kong and South Africa. In Hong Kong, the life expectancy is 82.75. In South Africa, it's 49.56. We can see the gap, very big gap. From 82, you have 49. So you have a very big difference of almost 30 years or more that people will stay in Hong Kong and then the other people in South Africa. And then we take the social determinants. Why are people living longer in Hong Kong? These are people like us who are born in their place. They grow there, they live there, they work there, they do everything there. And they come up living longer than people in South Africa. Why is it so? The first thing is the socioeconomic condition of the place. In Hong Kong, people try as much as possible to relate good networking, good socioeconomic conditions, which they've mapped out for themselves because of the kind of leaders they have. The leadership of a country is very important. In South Africa, on the other hand, you have what I call concentrated poverty. People living in shanties, people living in bad conditions. The policymakers are not doing what they are supposed to do. So you have that disparity. People in Hong Kong living 30 more years when somebody born within the same age with them is already dead, maybe some 30 years ago. The second point is the health and healthcare system in the country. You go to Hong Kong, the healthcare system, a lot of people have insurance, universal insurance. Everybody is cared for. People are catered for by the leaders, the government. And because of it, because of the treatment they give the population there, people live longer. Whereas in South Africa, you have health delivery system that is awkward. A lot of people don't even get the healthcare delivery, not to talk of getting to hospitals or the kind of medicine they have. So those are problems that will make somebody to live less number of years in South Africa when compared to somebody in Hong Kong. Then you have also the economic stability in a place. Hong Kong has more economic stability. When we talk of economic stability, we know that people ought to live longer, people ought to live better. And that is what is happening in Hong Kong. The economic stability is trying to indicate that people live better there, live longer there. And the economy is fashioned in such a way that when you talk of employment, a lot of people, a lot of their graduates, a lot of their children, when they come out of school, they're employed. So they have a better economic system. Whereas in South Africa, you have little economic stability. People running helter-skelter and trying to use it the African way. Leaders over there prefer stealing money, not doing what they are supposed to do. This life is too short. I don't know where they go with all this money they are carrying or embezzling. Always corruption everywhere. And that corruption will affect the life of the people. So in Hong Kong, the economic stability is telling you that people could live longer because they are living better. They're employed, they have jobs. Jobs are created, there's stability, there's skill acquisition. There are a lot of things that make people grow better. Whereas in South Africa, you don't have any of those things. Little economic stability. So why would they live up to 80 years? They die as young as 49 years. Then you have education, of course. People in Hong Kong, they take it mildly. People are educated. They try as much as possible to give them universal kind of education, where everybody will go to school, learn one trade or the other, and come out and practice that trade. It doesn't entail stealing. It doesn't entail embezzlement. It doesn't entail corruption. And because of it, there is no way they won't live longer. Whereas in South Africa, they are less educated. People continue living rough life, hard life, thinking that when you are born, you can just jump into a trade and become as successful as anything. think of becoming millionaires, even as illiterates. That's uncalled for. If people will learn to have enough education, even in South Africa, they are going to bump into a lot of things that will bring economic stability. They are going to go into things that will create jobs. They are going to go into things that will help them, help the economy, what are called skill acquisition, like they did in China and some of these places. And people then will become more educated, more productive, more useful, and they will live longer, just like people in Hong Kong. And lastly, you have food security. It is believed that developed countries produce a lot of food, but they still waste some of the food through their supermarkets, through the individuals, through the households. There is food security in Hong Kong when compared to that which happens in South Africa. In fact, I say there is none in South Africa. And where there is no food security, people are just going about trying to eke out living, how to survive. That's not how to live. If we live that way, there is no way we will live up to 80 years. That's why you see people dying at the 49th year. So my encouragement is that people should go back to the drawing board in different countries. People in South Africa should go back to the drawing board and ask themselves these questions. What are we doing with our concentrated poverty? How do we help the people to get out of poverty? How do we help the healthcare system so that people will be catered for, people will be taken care of? Even health prevention. If you do well in educating the people, if there is community health education and people are really aware of what they are supposed to do, hygiene inspectors, places are neat, no shanties, they are likely to live longer. So little economic stability does not help a country. We have to do more. We have to have more education. We have to create more jobs, more skill acquired. And it is only by so doing that people from South Africa will get out of the quagmire, get out of the problem, and be able to compete with people in Hong Kong who now live up to 82.78 years compared to people in South Africa with 49.56 years. So you can see the difference. The disparity is so much, and this is what is happening in most developing nations when compared to some of these countries that are developing rapidly. So these are issues we have to take seriously, especially the leaders, the policy makers, so that we have changes in these countries. Thank you. We continue with Global Health Series number 30. This is where we are ending today. Have a great day.